Okay, so as you all know, UiPath HyperHack 2023 is already launched and published. Most important thing at this point about the HyperHack is that registrations close July 14th. Your last date for submitting a use case, a solution, a functional demo, as you call it, is July 21st. But you cannot submit it if you don't register. So be sure and register yourself or your team until July 14th when we close registrations. So this year we have launched two categories, two challenges. Our first category is focused on the AI part of our suite. It's AI-powered automation solutions, and you can find here the listing of our target products for this challenge. So we have document understanding, AI center, AI computer vision, task mining, and integrations as well. Of course, you can enlarge a bit the focus with other things such as communications mining, but here we have placed the ones which we know we can guarantee are accessible to you and can be used in your projects. Category 2 is more around core business automation solutions. So it's innovation for core business automation solutions, and is focused on the core part of our product suite. You can envision like whatever products you can use and our product listing on the business automation platform, of course. Then you also have the marketplace components, which you can use, and our entire integrations activities. And there are plenty of integrations available now with UiPath. You have also a full list of resources, whether it's product documentation, white papers, or academic courses to get you started, or to get you more expertise into a certain product you might be unsure of, or some details regarding use and implementation. And we hope that many of these aspects also you have about clarifications, we can sort them out today. So we will have Q&A at the end with Sripad and Manoj, and maybe we can clarify some of your questions. If not, make sure you have this forum thread, which I will later place in the chat, and you can use the forum thread for any questions or clarifications you have regarding your participation to the HyperHack. Here we have the timeline. Right now, registrations are open. We are here now, June 29, with a masterclass on building disruptive automation solutions. And we have two more enablement sessions on July 6th, which are, of course, time zone based. Again, we have one for EMEA and APJ audience and one for the Americas audience. As I mentioned, July 14th is the last date to register. July 21 is your last date to submit a functional demo. We will have a selected team and finalists notified on July 31st. So this is the date when we actually notify the ones who have been selected as finalists in the two categories. And the finalists will, of course, participate in live finale with the jury, which this year will be public. And on August 7th, following the live finale, so not on the same day, we will take a few days in order to get our evaluation straight and scoring boards. And on August 7th, we will have the winners announcement for the HyperHack 2023. You find other useful information, such as judging criteria, terms and conditions on this page, which I will share in a minute. And you also have information about the prizes launched this year. So in total, we have $18K worth of prizes launched this year. In each of the category, we have the same free prizes, 4.5K, 3K, 1.5K for each of the categories for places 1, 2, and 3. So if you have any comments or questions regarding the information on the landing page of the HyperHack, details about the timeline or product categories, challenges, just please place them in the chat or during the Q&A, and we will sort them out. For now, I will take the landing link and share it with you, and also the forum thread. So I will give you some links now. Also an amplification link with a marketing kit built for external. So you can share the information about the HyperHack and encourage other people from your network or your company to join. You have all the marketing resources here. And you also have the link to register to the HyperHack, and of course the forum thread for support. I'm going to stop sharing now a bit, and I will let Manoj introduce himself while I set up the presentation for Manoj.
Thank you, Christina. Maybe Sripad, if you can just share your screen, and then I can start into.
Yep, just a moment. Just let me know when you can see the
Yep,
screen.
you can see your screen now. Thank you, Sripad. Hello and welcome everybody to this session. So, before I start talking about how you can actually find a problem problem statement, and how you can just pick the right solution, a tool for that. So let me just give you an intro first. So my name is Manoj Batra, and currently I'm working with one of the largest bank in the UK. And I'm working with this bank for about 5 years, and total industry experience around 14 years. And if I talk about my experience with UiPath community, so I'm active member of UiPath community, and I've been working with UiPath community for the past 4 to 5 years. And I'm a UiPath MVP, 3 times UiPath MVP, and a 5 times hackathon winner. So here you can also see my LinkedIn profile URL if you want. You can also scan the QR code if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn. Now coming back to the main agenda for this call. So in the next, I guess, 15 to 20 minutes, I'll be talking about the methods that you need to use on finding the right problem statement and the tools that you need to solve that problem. So can we just move to the next slide? Okay, yeah, we have already moved to that. Okay, so we'll be talking about these 3 things. So we'll be focusing on how you can identify a problem statement, what is the significance of that, and along with that, we'll basically cover some of the best practices and the tools that you need to basically choose in order to work on your project. So can we just move to the next slide, please, Sripad? Okay, yeah. So the first thing that you need to do is identify a problem that is worth solving. And here, I guess there are many things that you can do. So first thing is you need to do this market analysis and need assessment. So you just need to do your research, do some digging, dive into the areas like tech, healthcare, education, banking, finance, hospitality, whatever gets your gears turning. And along with that, you also need to analyze the pain points of the customer. The more you know, the better you will be able to solve the problem. And again, if you come across any solutions that is already built by somebody, you also need to evaluate uh, uh, whether the solution can be actually modified, or what are the solutions limitations. So you can just work on that. Along with that, again, if you've got any solution in place, then see if with the latest trends in the technology, can we just uh, modify that solution or do something with that to make a better product. So once you are done with your market analysis, the next thing is you need to prioritize your problem and do the impact assessment. And again, in that, you can do multiple things. The first and I guess the most important thing here is, first you need to define a criteria for your problem prioritization. Okay, this is my problem and this is how I'm going to solve that. Based on that, again, once you identify the problem and you do your prioritization, the next thing that you need to do is you need to just assess the potential impact. So what would be the impact if you solve that problem? What are the things that you are going to give to the market? You do this POC or just create a product. And when you are thinking about this assessment part, also think about the market demand and the scalability. So whether you can just scale up your product if the market needs required that you to do. Along with that, if you are basically focusing on any organization, then think about how you can actually align that with your organization goals. So this is a thing that you can do with your problem prioritization and your impact assessment. The next thing that you can do is collaboration and feedback. So don't be a stranger here. Engage with people who are actually facing these problems or who are domain expertise. Talk to the end user. Again, chat with these users and listen to their stories. The next thing that you can do is you can put yourself in their shoes. You can feel their pain. You can understand what they need from us or what they need from that product. So it is just about getting up close to close and personal with the real needs. And again, after you basically get the feedback and all, then you identify the opportunities for how you can actually improve that using innovative solutions, something like that. And moving on, next thing is how you can actually plan to build the right solution for the market. So your solution should be market ready. And again, here are few things that you can do. Again, the first thing that you need to do is you need to define goals and objectives. So you need to clearly articulate that, okay, this is or this should be the outcome of my solution. And for that solution, you need to set the measurable goals and objectives. And again, if you're working with any organization or any business, so it should align with those business strategies. The next thing that you can do is, so you have basically now defined this goals and your objective. Next thing that you can do is you can do this requirement gathering and documentation. So again, you just need to draw a line here like, okay, these are the user requirements and these would be the expectations. So you need to set an expectation here as well. And while you are basically doing this requirement gathering and all, and then I guess one thing that you need to do is you need to define or basically document your functional and your non-functional requirements. So you can just create a document and just define those there. Along with that, the other thing that you need to do is you need to define the scope and the constraints. And for that, if you require some kind of basically creating some traceability metrics, so you can just search on Google and find this traceability metrics template everywhere on internet. So just use that. So, and after that, you also need to work on your solution architecture thing and the design part. So here, I guess the first thing that you need to do is you need to define the overall system architecture, how the components will be interacting with each other, and how you can actually make your solution scalable or robust. And there are some best practices that you need to follow, like your security and your data privacy aspects, that my data should not be exposed to the external user. The various kind of authentication or authorization method that you can put within your design. And last thing is, I guess, because you're working with a team, so I guess what you can do is you can focus on agile methodologies and project management. So you have got a team of 2, 3, or 4 people. Based on that, you can basically define the project timelines, resources, who will do what are the risks. And again, from the project management part, I guess what you can do here is you can actually define or you can actually break down your problem into smaller milestones. Let's suppose if you have got now, I guess, 3 weeks to deliver your solution. So you can define, okay, first week I'll be doing this thing. Second week I'll be focusing, or my team will be focusing on some other areas of that project, something like that. And so start creating that milestone, project timelines, and just work with the resources on that. Moving on. Can we just move to the next slide? Yeah. So the next thing is how you can actually build or what are the best practices around building solutions. So I guess the first thing is, because you are presenting it to the user, so the first thing that you should be focusing on the user-centric design. So you need to understand the user persona here, like for whom you are actually creating that product. Is my product intuitive, and are my user interfaces user-friendly or not? These are things that you need to consider. Along with that, you can also do some kind of a testing, and you can also go into this feedback loops. So here in this part, I guess, user-centric design, the most important part is emphasizing user experience and satisfaction. So your user should be able to grab everything once they see your screen. Along with that, based on the feedback, you can do this continuous improvement and iteration. So Based on the feedback, you just make those changes and ask the user whether the product is okay or not, and just go into that feedback loop. Along with that, you can also think about this change in the market dynamics, like what the actual market wants or what the actual customer needs. Again, if your solution is basically designed for a specific business only, so just don't just focus on that business within that organization, within that organization. So think about businesses from the same domain from other organizations. So this will actually give you a clear view on what needs to be done and what are the common problems that these business users or organizations are facing. The other thing is your solution should be scalable and future proof. So again, security constraints, scalability, extensibility, uh, future integrations, how you can actually expand your product, how you can integrate with other tools and technologies, and more important, how you can actually make your solution more sustainable. And after that, you can create your documentation and share the best practices with the business or with the organization. Moving on. So the next topic is about how to pick the right tools for a solution, because there are many tools available in the market, and you need to do a thorough research on which tool should I pick for this kind of a problem statement, or what tool should I pick to solve that problem. So in the tool evaluation criteria, first you identify the functional requirement of your solution. Okay, I need to work on this banking domain, and these are the tools available that can actually, if I use that I can scale up or scale down whenever required. Again, if you're working for a banking domain, you also need to basically check whether the tools that I'm going to pick is actually reliable or is as per your bank needs, as per, so from your security point of view. The third thing, because you have got less time in hackathon, so you also need to think about ease of integration and compatibility. And along with that, the most important thing, I guess, that you need to do here is when you pick any tool, so you need to see the tool that you are picking. So obviously that is from a different vendor. So whether when the vendor has got the right reputation in the market or not. And based on that, you can basically do your POC to validate the tool suitability, can build prototypes to test the basically capability of the tool. And once you're done with that, you can again get the feedback from the customer. And along with that, you also need to focus on post and your ROI analysis, because if you are building any thing for your hackathon, so we don't want to use that tool which costs too high. So always think about the licensing cost, total cost of the ownership, what would be the ROI, what would be the training cost, and what are the long-term benefits and the business value that you will be getting from that tool. And I guess the last point is continuous tool evaluation and upgrades. So here, what you can do is you can just evaluate or you can just monitor the industry trends or emerging technologies, or whether your tool is actually the right fit with the long-term business benefits, whether the tool is again scalable or not. So there are so many things that you can actually look into while actually you design your problem. So basically, if I talk about hackathon, so hackathon is all about working together and sharing ideas. So just get the gang together. So I have seen that most of the people are participating in multiple categories and start. So you can just uh, work together, start bouncing the ideas, brainstorm, discuss, and just explore the different possibilities. Who knows that you can just find basically a next product for the market over just over a cup of tea. Yeah, so that is all about me. Thank you, guys. Over to you, Christina.
Thank you very much, Manoj. I think we can switch over to Sripad now, but let's see first if there are any questions from this part of the presentation, any questions addressed for Manoj regarding everything that you've heard so far, positioning, design, brainstorming, working with the team. So please feel free if you want to unmute yourselves or write your questions in the chat. I will just check now. Okay, so everyone is able to unmute. If anybody wants to ask a question now to Manoj, you can also tell us like if you have any questions you've already started out, if you want to make sure like you follow the right steps, you're going in the right direction. Nobody? Okay, we have a question from Margin. So being 5 times hackathon winner, what's the biggest challenge you experienced working with your team?
So again, the challenge that we have faced, so I guess that was our first hackathon in somewhere, I guess that was in 2017. So we formed a team and all the people were from a different organization and it was very difficult. So difficult to manage everything there because of the nature of work. Some of the people are from different industries, those were not from the RPA, and it was very difficult to set the rhythm in that project. But fortunately, yeah, we did that. We followed the, I guess I would say the best practices, and we won the hackathon. So it's all about how you can actually form a team here, because this is the most important thing. So let's suppose if you are working on any project that requires you to work on uh, different type of domains, so you should have at least one domain expertise from that area. So I guess this is the thing that you need to basically consider while basically taking part in any competition. So you should have at least one expert from that organization or that area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manoj, for the answer. Sripad, I think you want to stop sharing and try sharing again. Sharing your screen or directly the presentation. If not, I can try to share the presentation if you can't manage.
I can share it. Just allow. Yep.
Okay. We have another question from Zvita. How do you come up with such unique ideas and what are your resources? So this is all about use case sourcing ideas and yeah, brainstorming about how to select the best idea for a winning solution in a HyperHack.
So is it for me first or for Sripad? Or maybe we can both answer on that. Okay.
Yes,
So
Sripad is sharing the entire screen. Okay, stop sharing a bit, Sripad. We will share the hackathon till we finish with the questions and then we'll move on.
So so I guess if you're taking part in hackathon or in any coding competition, so it is not a mandatory thing that your idea should be unique. So sometimes what you can do is you can just identify. So let's suppose if you're working on any banking tool, and you identify that okay, this is the problem, this is the pain point, or you come across 2-3 tools that okay, with the tool one I can just log on to this thing and do that stuff. With the other tool I can just do some other stuff. With the third tool I can do some other thing, and you might think of a scenario, what if I can just club these 3 tools and just create a different product out of it. So it is not a thing that your idea should be unique always. You can just work on all these stuff or make a product better. Like if you're working on some project that includes you to so we recently did something within our team. So the problem that we are facing with orchestrator, so it was very difficult for us to actually go to orchestrator and see the logs here. So whenever you go to orchestrator under job section, you need to basically go to that page and click on view logs, and that logs would open. And sometimes it is very difficult for us to just keep a track of all those things. So we have created a different solution altogether where we use orchestrator API. And what the API basically does is It logs onto orchestrator with token and just give me the processes that are running along with the last log that the bot is generating. So that's how you come across these things. So just try to explore different things, and I'm sure that you will come across a unique idea as well.
Okay, thank you for that answer, Manoj. Sripad, do you want to add anything on this answer on how to find the best idea and the best use case?
So honestly, Manoj has already responded from a perspective that you should be winning a hackathon, but I slightly think little different. Okay, what I do is if I want to get a wacky idea out, I start behaving as if I am the end user, and if I have to go ahead and look at a particular product, what do I need? Okay, that's basically gets me more inputs. Okay, and I tend to cross pollinate or brainstorm with my own team members. So example, if I want to address a particular a concern which is with regards to healthcare, and maybe it is with regards to, for example, how to get a prescriptive medicine from a doctor for a particular pain that you have. If I were a patient, okay, the first thing would be the long queues. The second thing would be, do I trust the medicine that he is giving me? Are the dosages right? Okay. And finally, are the dosages of 3 or 4 days going to give me the best of the cure? If not, what's the next alternative? Is it a blood test that I need to do? If yes, what are the blood tests? Then what would be the results out and what would be the final outcome? Now, this is what rings into my head. Now I need to pick the main pain points which I can fit into the solution and then work backwards to build a particular product which at least satisfies my those needs. So I've given you an example how to get wacky and unique ideas. Yeah, very clean and very bottom. Yep.
Yeah, that's a very extensive mapping on how to design the idea. A very nice explanation also. Thank you very much, Sripad. Anyone else has a question for Manoj or Sripad at this point? If not, we will continue now with Sripad. So Sripad, you can share screen now if you want.
Yeah, I will quickly do that.
If
Just
you
let
can
me
share
know
the presentation.
once.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. So a brief introduction from my side. Uh, I'm currently working in Reckitt, and I'm now doing a solution architect role uh, with the entire scope of automation with regards to business as well as the IT. And honestly, quite a challenging role to be looked at, but still learning to do automations, learning to do digital transformation. Uh, Nothing more than that. Yes, with regards to UiPath, we've been using that as a tool of choice for us. I've been closely working with the community uh, and have won the hackathon thrice. But yes, uh, the podium finish only happens when you have like-minded team members part of your squad, and it's a pure team effort. That's when you get a podium finish. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I've shared my link. I think Christina has also shared the LinkedIn link. Feel free to come up with your queries and questions, and happy to answer. I'll quickly jump onto the subject, how to pitch a solution to maximize the impact. Uh, I've got a couple of stuffs, not a lot, but let me start off with when you're pitching a particular solution. Okay, you should always have a storytelling sort of a scenario, right? You need to have a emotional connection to your particular solution that you're pitching to the audience. And the storytelling has to be such that it's a memorable solution. Even if you don't win, okay, people should acknowledge that yes, this is the solution that could scale up, or could be in part of my scope when I am looking into it. Okay, now that's the primary thing that you should always look at. uh, Second, you should always look at conveying the value and the impact your solution is going to make. All right. Because in the end, it is the end user that is going to be benefited with that particular solution. Don't build solutions which are going to help a particular sort of a domain. Okay. But look at in that domain, how is the end user going to get impacted, because that's where the value is and that's where the impact of that particular solution is going to be. Okay, so when you're presenting, ensure your value and impact is clearly known to the audience as well as to the judging team members. Next one is, you should tailor your pitch to the theme of the hackathon. Now here, it's quite wide open. You don't have a theme, but yes, when you are picking up AI powered automation, for example, look at that particular theme as AI and pitch uh, your solution according to it. So try to understand what is AI, try to get a complete background about artificial intelligence, generative AI, or the various ML models that you're going to pick it up. So ensure your pitch is around that particular theme. All right. And also ensure that you emphasize on the aspects which are relevant and valuable to the larger world. Okay. Hackathon, the main objectives of hackathon is to get a solution which is scalable and which goes ahead and helps the larger world. It's not about fitting a smaller sort of a domain, but yes, put your thinking hats and think about a solution which can fix the larger problem, not 80% or 90%, but even if you're able to contribute to a 30% of that larger problem, it's enough. Is because that will start generating ideas to go ahead and improve your solution exponentially in this next 3 weeks that you're building. All right. uh, when you're presenting it to the judges, ensure that you start with a strong and captivating opening statement, okay, which grabs the attention. Is because, see, you just have 5 to 10 minutes. I remember I got only 10 minutes to present, and those 10 minutes were valuable. So if you want to grab the attention, you need to have a strong opening statement, which is again connecting emotionally. All right. But that's when the judges and the audience should be glued to your solution and glued to the demo that is going to come after your presentation. So ensure you try to do that. All right. Whilst you're doing this, ensure you articulate the problem that you're addressing, highlight its significance and the challenges that are currently in existence. Try to paint a picture of the pain points that your solution is going to reduce it, or try to resolve it. If you're able to paint that picture, everybody would be able to connect to the delivery of your solution. Okay, so be very clear in articulating it. Describe your solution in a concise and an understandable manner. Don't use too much of a jargons or a technical stuff into it. Like I'm going ahead and using some sort of a ML model which is going to deliver sort of a JSON output, or maybe a XAML file output, or an HTML output. Don't get too much into jargons. Keep it clean, keep it simple. Let your demo, your technical demo, talk about your deliverable. Is because visual aids, demos speak a lot rather than your written statements or the presentation. When you're building a solution, I focus on IEER. Okay, what it means is improving efficiency, eliminating cost, enhancing productivity, and resolves the pain point. If you get all check marks on these 4 points, your solution is going to be there in the pack where you would be on a podium finish. But if you are unable to get one of these, it's fine. But try to build a solution which can get you the checks on all the 4 points that I mentioned. Now, when you're presenting a solution, okay, try to use concrete examples or statistics. So, for example, if you're building a solution which is catering to deaf and blind, okay, then you need to mention stats on what's the world population of blind and deaf. What is the population where the blind and deaf are trying to get into technology or into music, into art, and where is your solution fitting in? And if your solution is getting uh, scaled up and it's good for a delivery, how much percentage of population are you going to have a positive impact? Or when you give such statistics, people acknowledging the solution, the judges would really be overwhelmed that you have really worked hard on the entire knowledge of the product that you're delivering and the background, and it's just not technical emphasis that you're trying to put across. Yeah. Finally, very important, after talking so much, if you don't have a working prototype, uh, guys, you're losing the battle. So ensure your prototypes really work. Okay. Sometimes, as per Murphy's law, when you're presenting, suddenly you'll start having technical issues. Ensure you have a recording available as a backup. In case if you're not able to deliver a demo, which is live, try to build a video which can showcase. And when you're showcasing a video, you need to talk as a background, that this is how the screen is moving. Now you would see the screen, and now this is the output that's going to come out. So visual demos are really influential tools when you're pitching your solution. Yeah. Uh, Also, when you're delivering a solution, talk about cyber risks, compliances, controls, and mitigations that you're building in, which would build a solid confidence in your solution. Is because if you're talking about healthcare as a solution, you need to look at various standards like HIPAA. And if your product is catering to these standards, then yes, you have built a solid product. So talking openly about the cyber risks that you're going to mitigate, compliances or controls, that will improve your solution delivery. Yep. Uh, whilst presenting the entire stuff, uh, when you're speaking to the judges or when you're speaking to the audience, be quite passionate about your solution. Even if the demos work or don't work, even if you have goofed up in particular statement delivery, don't lose it. Be really passionate. Have an assured attitude throughout the presentation, because that's the key to success, right? And in order to deliver all this, you need to practice your pitch multiple times. Okay. So whilst one of your team member or couple of team members are delivering the technical bit, whoever is picking up the presentation to be showcased needs to practice the pitch multiple times. Time your presentation, that if you have 10 minutes, then you should finish your presentation by 8 minutes, so that you give 2 minutes back to judges, so that you get some feedback, so that you could get some questions and you could answer them, because that's going to give them a positive feedback about your solution, how well do you know it, and how well you have built it. So that's something very important. So practicing your pitch is really another key to success. Iteration is a key to crafting a compelling and impactful pitch. I don't need to talk a lot about it, because uh, once you have understood all these concepts, the iterations would automatically come in and get the confidence. And finally, this is very close to my heart: be receptive to questions. Okay. uh, when you're presenting solutions, be open to feedback, be open to questions, is because the judges are going to talk to you only for those 10 minutes. And if you have one of them who's quite inquisitive about the solution, or he's part of that particular domain, or she's part of that particular domain, would ask you a lot of questions. So be open to feedback, be open to answering those questions. You don't need to be accurate always or right, but being able to answer to these queries is going to get you the uh, you know uh, get you to the spot to be at the finalist, or to the finish line. Other than that, I don't have anything to talk about. I've poured in all my knowledge and experience, being a 3 times UiPath hackathon winner. Happy to answer questions. And over to you, Christina. Let me know when I can stop sharing the screen. Yeah.
You can stop sharing, or maybe you'd like to keep it for the questions if you want to go through the presentation. Let's see if there are any questions for Sripad. There were certainly a lot of details, especially about fine tuning. Okay, I think you can stop share now, or if you don't have the presentation on it, let's put the HyperHack.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so we're back on the HyperHack page. So let's see any questions now for Sripad. Okay, Andy is dropping out. Thank you very much, Andy, for joining us. Andy, our MVP from the Americas. Any questions on Sripad's details? Okay, we have a question from Argin. What are some pitfalls we need to watch out for, especially first time as participants? So if you register for the first time to submit the solution for the HyperHack, what are the pitfalls to watch out for? That's a very good question from Argin.
Again, the first pitfall, like you think you're the first one to participate. I always thought I would be the first one to participate, but there are many in the entire world. Okay, so don't get really nervous on the primary one that this is my first time and how would I ace it. No, just be confident on the solution that you have looked out for. All right, if you are confident about your solution, the first major roadblock is out. So being confident about your solution, technical deliverable of that particular solution, a working prototype of that particular solution are the two major things that you should be worried about. The last one is the presentation, which you would automatically ace it if you get these two things right. So if you are the first time joining a particular hackathon, just be mindful that you are completely confident about your solution. Your solution is a working prototype, and try to ace your presentation as much as possible so that you don't get those goosebumps when you're presenting. Yeah.
I think those are inevitable, Sripad. But yes, to be well prepared and confident in your solution definitely helps in that moment. And yeah, you're not alone. You are definitely one of 7 or 10, and there are 2 categories. So you're never the first one or the single one. So that's a good thought to remember. Manoj, do you have any comments on pitfalls to watch out for?
Yeah, actually, that has happened to us. I guess that was in the 2021 HyperHack. So, okay, this is a real use case, actually, guys. You need to watch out. So, I was presenting the app that I built using UiPath apps. Unfortunately, I basically put the wrong values there, and the complete solution got failed. Fortunately, we had this video backup that we created. So that was I guess the most important thing. So you should have your, so if you think you have the solution might fail during the presentation, so just create a backup, create a video before going to the presentation. And if the thing doesn't work, then switch to the plan B. So you should have, so the crux is you should have a plan B whenever you go to, because you have got this limited time, 5 to 7 minutes to present everything. And if the solution fails in the first 2 minutes, you will also lose your confidence as well. So make sure you just plan in advance for all those things.
Yeah, that's a very good advice, and I know we also gave it last year to our other finalists to create a backup video. So you do a mock presentation on your own, record it, and keep it as a backup for the finale in case anything goes wrong. You can always go to the video and present the videos to make sure everything is as you intended and as you prepared for the audience and jury. So keep that in mind. Maybe we'll also send a reminder with this for everyone, because comfort and psychic and emotional comfort, it's also you should have confidence when you present. So this helps a lot. Okay, let's see if there are any other questions from the rest of the participants we have in session today. Maybe from those who have already registered. Any other questions for Sripad or Manoj at this point? Or general questions regarding the HyperHack? But I would sort the questions for Sripad and Manoj first, since we have them here. It's their time is valuable, and they have a lot of experience in HyperHacks. And remember, you can unmute yourselves at any time to ask the question live and talk directly to them.
Hi, all. This is Cardalan. Can you hear me
Hello,
correctly?
Carmen. Hi, nice to see you again. I remember you from other sessions.
Hi. Actually, I'm from Turkey, and we are on holidays now, so I missed the starting point of this meeting. I don't know if you guys discussed about the winners, the winner projects in
We have
detail, but
we have a recording, so you'll be able to see the whole office hours tomorrow. But we can have a few words now from Manoj and Sripad about the solutions with which they have won, maybe the one they're most proud of, like projects in the past, because they won more than once. So maybe choose your favorite, Manoj and Sripad, and say a few. I think Sripad already mentioned a bit earlier from the automation for good solution. Let's hear Manoj.
Yeah, please.
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Sorry.
Like if you want to say a few words on one of your winning solutions, maybe your favorite projects, so the audience gets like a better, clear idea of the real use case that won.
Yeah.
And the descriptions directly from the source.
So I guess all the use cases that I built were close to my heart, but I guess the solution that we built in 2021 HyperHack. So again, guys, the solution was very simple. It was not unique, but when we actually built that, people think that this is a unique idea. So so the idea was about this this green carbon energy app that we have created. So everybody is talking about this climate change. We have got this COP21, COP20, and leaders are basically presenting different thoughts of how how their country or their organization can become carbon neutral or carbon positive by 2030, 2070. Every country has actually set up their different targets to become carbon neutral. So based on that, we did something because everybody was focusing on this uh, renewable energy sources like coal, gas, petroleum, and all, but nobody actually thought about the carbon emission that we are generating from the emails. So what we did is, so let me just first tell you the problem statement here. So guys, you know that you use email every day and you receive so many emails from different companies, different marketing campaigns, and after this digital innovation in the space of this banking and other things, to tend to get a on that remains valid for I guess 10 to 15 minutes, like your OTPs, your delivery notifications, uh, uh, your meeting acceptance, meeting declined, these kind of emails that you get on everyday basis on your personal account, on as well as your on your official account. So those emails have just got relevance for I guess 10 to 20 minutes, like for OTPs, because they just remains valid for a very shorter period of time. Same goes with your delivery notifications and your meeting accept or declined request. So based on that, what it is, we created a pattern or created a process actually. So whenever actually you send an email, so a certain amount of carbon gets released into the atmosphere. So there's a formula for that. For I guess email that you send without attachment, the carbon is around 4 gram carbon emission. And for the email that goes with attachment, it is 50 grams, 12.5 times higher. And for a spam email, it is close to I guess 0.03 or 0.3 gram. So we built a kind of an email filter here, email spam filter. So spam filter is different from what this Google or Microsoft are using at the moment. So these guys are doing a lot of stuff at there and like stopping these spam emails. Like you have got this again 5 nights, 6 days in Europe or something, like you have got this 10,000 or $50,000 personal loan that you can get in just 2 or 3 steps. So we did something else. We built the checks on this digital footprints, like your your emails that contains OTP, your delivery notifications, And few common emails that you tend to send to other individuals on daily basis. Those are 10, I guess, unnecessary emails that we send, like received, thank you, got it, something like that. Whereas we can use different alternative for that. So if you send it via your Outlook or any email exchange server that you use, the carbon emission is quite high. Where if you use a Teams or Skype or Slack, the carbon emission is very less. So based on that, what we did is we created a prototype that scans your email for a particular period. So you just need to go to that UiPath apps thing, select your email account, the folder that needs to be scanned, start it and end it, and our AI model will actually generate a summary of your email footprint for that particular period. And based on that, the app will also show you, okay, this is a total carbon consumption that actually generated from your mail account. This was a number of emails that you sent with attachment, without attachment. These were the number of spams, or these are the number of emails that if you don't send, so you can save this much number of your carbon. So that's how we created a graph month by month, and we incentivize the people. So that was the whole plan about this carbon green energy app.
Thank you, Manoj. So I was wondering, so you used the UiPath apps, and you said that it was a process and robot, I think, because I was reading the rules of the hackathon to apply, and it said that you have to use 2 UiPath tools to participate, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So we use multiple tools, like we use UiPath apps, and from UiPath, trigger the UiPath processes that we built in UiPath Studio. We use AI Center as well. Actually, basically checks for whether the email is actually a spam or a ham, and along with that, Automation Hub to calculate the ROI and benefits that will basically, if we just scale it up. So what would be the business benefits and ROI we'll be getting from this project? So you can also use all these, I guess, tools. Yeah. Or you can also use data service. Oh, okay. Yeah, we also use data services. So we saved all our data into the UiPath data services. So you can also use these tools depending on your use.
Okay, it's a bit more complex than I thought. So thank you, Manoj. It looks like a good project. So congratulations to you too. Also, I have a project, actually a few projects that integrates with Outlook also, and ChatGPT API and Orchestrator API, and also UiPath robots. I was thinking if I could participate, and I'm these projects are if they're good for the apply, I think. Now I got my answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Carmen. Thank you, Manoj. Sripad, do you want to say a few words about your favorite winning solution? I adjusted rolled on the screen the automation for good a bit earlier, where of course you won the first place. And now I'm actually putting in chat the links for the HyperHacks 2022-2021. So the last 2 years, so you guys can all see the winners' announcements and the details for the solutions. Yeah. So you can take the links from the chat, and meanwhile, Sripad will tell you a bit on the winning solution.
So the solution that I picked up was to cater to the blind and deaf, right? And as I mentioned in my presentation, try to catch something which is emotional, okay, and gets you the viability across the globe. So that is something that we looked at as a problem, okay, to solve how a blind or a deaf person could read news, learn music, go ahead and access braille scripts, Okay. So once the problem statement was understood, we tried to use existing UiPath tools. Now, we used UiPath apps extensively. And thanks to my colleague Ishmit, who was part of my team and who did a lot of heavy lifting, was able to integrate machine learning models using AI Center, and that led to a complete winning solution. Now, we we also concentrated on using APIs, okay, which would give us uh, consistent results. And if I have to give you the key to success, the existing hackathon talks about AI powered automation, or the existing resources that could be used. Now you have options like document understanding. You could use out of the box models. You could use APIs. You could use AI Center over there. Task mining. In AI Center, you could integrate multiple ML models. You could now look at using open APIs or open AIs like ChatGPT, ChatGPT 4. So if you're building a solution, okay, you need to look at these particular tools which are widely available and are making a lot of buzz in the market. So if you are having a good problem statement, or maybe the problem statement is not up to the mark, don't worry about it. Look at how could these technical resources can be used. Integration service of UiPath, APIs, chat GPTs, document understanding. How could you look at various documents that can be extracted? How could you use artificial intelligence to predict by just looking at the document, and confirm that it's like an invoice for purchase order, or is it related to a remittance or something of that sort. So that's the key to using the tools that are currently available, and that's what we followed at our end. We looked at using APIs, we looked at using UiPath apps, AI Center, to ensure that the solution is scalable but a resilient solution. The prototype is resilient and can be scaled up easily. But if you tend to use a lot of activities and not concentrate more on integrating, the solution becomes less scalable. So try to use whatever has been mentioned, like document understanding, AI Center, computer vision, integration service, chat GPTs. You can also look at the new one, Azure OpenAI, and AWS SageMaker. That's really going to get you a lot of solutions to cater to your problem statement. That's my input. Honestly, don't want to brag a lot about it, but yes, hope it helps you determining the solutions for the HyperHack. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sripad, for the answer. Actually, this was the first place in the Automation for Good hackathon, which was a very special edition of the hackathon for us in 2021. So it was 2 years ago. And regarding all the things that Sripad also said today, I remember how impressive was the solution even for us who do not hold such big tech expertise, because it really bridged sensorial experiences for people who were blind. So it was a direct emotional impact on the audience with that solution, which I think also mattered a lot. And yes, it was definitely a larger world solution. Very beautiful. You can see it on the forum, as well as the other solutions that I have placed in the chat. We will try to source some more, and I will actually add them to the event in a link, because I see this is a recurring question, and I think it's a very good one for you to be able to see the past winning solutions and get inspiration from them. And I know we have a tasker in the team also regarding this. If I know we're a bit on top of the hour now, so I think many of you guys might have other meetings. If there are any other questions, let's see at this point. And if not, I will leave you with a phone thread. But let's see first if there are any other questions left unanswered. And remember, you can unmute or you can place the question in the chat. Okay, I hope it was useful. You can tell us in the chat how what you think about today's session. Uh, I hope you got a lot of insight from what Manoj has presented, also from what Sripad has presented. For me, I know it was a beautiful exposition of the past HyperHacks and all the expertise we have gathered here today. I will leave you with the forum thread where you will get all the further support. And if you have, and I know you will have upcoming questions, if you already registered, or if you want just like a differentiator for you to register and you are undecisive, you can drop us a question in this forum support thread, which is closely watched and we cater it daily, at least until registrations are closed. So you can ask us there anytime. And I hope you find also, besides the financial prizes, I hope you find the value, and maybe this is like one last question I would like to ask Sripad and Manoj about the value of participating in the HyperHack besides the financial prizes, like what it brings as a show of expertise, what it brings to your career, what might it bring to your enterprise employer, such differentiators, because I think this also matters a lot when you decide whether to go into a competition like this or not, besides the financial prize. Manoj?
Yeah, Manoj, you should go ahead first.
Okay, so I guess there are.
It's not a hard question. I'm sorry, but I think it's important.
It's not a hard question, but I guess there are many benefits of if you take part in hackathon, except for this monetary benefits. The first thing you basically get to know about how to work in a team. You emerge yourself as a leader because you are working at a problem statement from the business point of view. You are working in agile methodologies. Uh, you are working as a project manager as well sometimes because you have got the step timelines. So that actually basically improves your overall capabilities in terms of managing the project, working in a tighter deadlines, how to work as a team, or how to actually manage a team. Because sometimes you have to play different roles in a same project. So and apart from that, the other thing that is going to improve if you take part in hackathon is your critical thinking abilities. Because as I mentioned before, you think about different pros and cons. You explore different tools in a tighter deadlines. So yeah, these are the actually main benefits, and people will also look up to you. Like, okay, this is the person who has actually cracked this hackathon multiple times. So yeah, you can also become a role model as well. The organization do something like this. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. So I totally agree to what Manoj is saying. It's like a prestige to win a hackathon. I would say like that. Yeah. If there are a lot of participants, and of those participants, you coming out as a winner is a pure recognition and prestige that you should look at. All right. With this, you get a lot of networking opportunities. You tend to connect with a lot of individuals across the globe who would like to know your solution. You could talk to them and understand their point of view. You could also learn on how to scale up your solution if required, or you could also add value to their particular thought if they are building something at their end. The next one would be, whilst you're engaging with your team, you yourself would learn a lot about the product. Is because when you're building something, you will automatically start getting deeper into the product and understand what are its deliverables, what are its shortcomings. At the same time, if there are any shortcomings, you would tend to start talking about them to the product team or to your community team, so that those could be enhanced. So in fact, the product managers would get a lot of feedback whilst you're designing a particular solution. With regards to winning and at an job level, yes, that will improve your opportunities at work. Okay, your career would suddenly get a push, a rocket like push, where people will start recognizing you. People would think you as a product SME, and start reaching out to you to understand how could this product be improved. What are the various opportunities that I could look at to improve a solution in-house using UiPath. as a main tool of choice. Okay. If there are any risks on the tool, if there are any things that needs to be mitigated with regards to a product, they would look up to you for the extensive knowledge that you would have for a particular a solution or something of that sort. And finally, when you have your idea getting presented, you would start pushing your brain's power to start looking at more ideas. Can I look at more solutions to the wider world for a deliverable? And that starts increasing your inputs to the wider solutions in your own company also. So it not only exposes you to challenges internally but externally also. You would start contributing to various challenges that are posted outside the hackathon. When there are posts that are there on LinkedIn, when there are challenges put forth by your own companies, you would start jumping onto it and start giving solutions. Even if they are not working, that's fine, but that improves your thinking and the thought process. So I've given you a lot of benefits, can talk a lot because that's my rich experience that I have. But financially, yes, you get a big money, all right? But more than money, it's these softer aspects which stay for a long. Okay, I have won a hackathon prize, but last I won, I think it's in 2022. But after 2 years, UiPath still giving me an opportunity to talk about it is an output of me winning a hackathon. That's how simple it is. Yeah, Christina, over to you.
Thank you both so much. Well, it's also our wins, because thank you very much for trying to work wonders with our technology. So that's the thing that actually stays, like how agile, how much things you can do with the technology, how much worthy output you can put in the world by using that technology. It was great listening to your insights, Manoj and Sripad. Thank you very much for today. I think our audience definitely won a lot from this session. We will have the recording and the decks up on the event link tomorrow, and we will have 2 more enablement sessions coming up. So please register for those from the main HyperHack page. I will just share once again the main link for the hackathon for you to get back on the landing page in case you forgot it, but I think everyone has it till now. And remember to keep the forum support link close to you, because if you are serious about it and you want to troubleshoot at some point, you are stuck, just go to that support thread on forum to make sure we smooth it out and you get to submit your solution in the end. But that is our main goal, for you to have your solution submitted and to get all the help you need until that point. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Sripad. Thank you, Manoj, for your time today. This was a great session. And see you all in the next enablement session for the HyperHack 2023.
Thank you, Manoj. Thank you, Christina.